Okay, few things we need to go over for today. Do not forget you have your PSAT tomorrow. Make sure that you have your laptop and a charger. You cannot use a personal laptop. You cannot use a personal tablet. It must be a school issued laptop or a desktop from the school that is in the room. Also, remember, make sure it's charged or grab your charger. I am down to just a few chargers, and I guarantee you most of the other teachers only have one or two as well. Also, remember that you will be turning off and turning in all of your electronics to your first period teacher, who is who you're taking your PSAT with. Okay. Not only do you turn them off, but you turn them in. This includes your earbuds, your smartwatch, your cell phone, everything that's an electronic. If you have a smart ring, okay, they go to the teacher. Okay. Remember your PSAT, you cannot have anything to draw with. You can't read a book. You can't look at a magazine. You take your test, and that's it. Okay. If you're with me, you can take your test, take a nap, I'll wake you up. I can't speak for other teachers. Fourth period. Today, I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to make sure that you know what classes you want for next year. Okay. Make sure your schedules are ready for Wednesday. Okay. Because Wednesday, we have our arena scheduling, and that means that freshmen, sophomore, and juniors are all getting on at the same time, and they are making their schedule for next year. They're going to be able to pick out the teacher. They're going to be able to pick out the class. They're going to be able to put it in what order they want. Just a friendly reminder, please do not make it with your absolute best friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever, because remember, if something happens, you might be stuck with them and that schedule. And if you have them every single class, you're going to see them every single class next year. And that may be very uncomfortable and awkward. They do not do schedule changes because you are mad at your best friend or you broke up with your girlfriend or boyfriend. So make the schedule for you. Okay, let's move on here. Today, you're going to be using the knowledge you attained last week about transcription. Remember, that's DNA to RNA. Translation, which is mRNA to an amino acid. And you're going to be doing this by completing the worksheet. This worksheet is due at the end of class, or it becomes homework and will be due Wednesday. The reason I'm doing Wednesday instead of tomorrow is because I probably will only see my first, possibly fifth, and sixth and seventh periods. Okay, so the worksheet is going to be due on Wednesday. I have posted the very first section or the very first one of this worksheet on Google Classroom. Please refer back to it if you need help. Ask three before me. What does that mean? That means you ask yourself first, what did I learn? Okay. You check your notes. You check the video. You go back and watch this video again. You go back to Google Classroom and look how I did the first one. You ask a friend, hey, how do I do this? Get the help you need and then get back to work. Don't sit and have a whole conversation about what you did over the weekend and who was at the carnival and who was at the what ride you rode. And anyways, ask your friend, get back to work. The absolute last person you should be asking is me. Okay, so looking at this worksheet, like I said, I did number one for you. We are doing protein synthesis. This is what this whole thing is protein synthesis. Okay, that's what the name of this whole process is. This is where we are taking DNA. We've done DNA to DNA, that's replication, A equals T, C equals G. Now we are taking and making DNA into an RNA, whether it's, we're going to translate it in, or excuse me, transcribe it into an mRNA. Remember, RNA no longer has a T. You have to use A equals U and C equals G. Also, don't forget that you have to have three, one, two, three nucleotides to get an amino acid. There we go. Not an animal, but an amino acid. Okay. When you get to a stop codon, you stop. You don't go any further. You never run the stop sign. Okay. So how I do it, this is how I do it because to me it makes it easier. It helps keep it being from so jumbled up with all these letters up here. Is I go to my DNA and I go 1, 2, 3 line, 1, 2, 3 line, 1, 2, 3 line, and I do that through the whole DNA strand. Then I go mRNA, mRNA, T equals A equals U, C equals G, C equals G, T equals A equals U, C equals G, G equals C, G equals C, and I do that through the whole mRNA strand. Then I go down here to my amino acid and I start using my codon chart. You may use the codon chart or the codon wheel. It does not matter to me. They're both going to get you the amino acid. Use the one that you are comfortable with. Even if your friend uses a different one, who cares? You don't have to be like them. Okay. The very first mRNA, AUG, codes for the amino acid, which is a start codon. Okay. But the amino acid is called MET. Please do not write start here. That's not an amino acid. That's a start codon. It means it's starting the whole process, but it is not an amino acid. So please do not write start here. If you write start here, I'm going to count it wrong because the amino acid is MET. I do all the amino acids until I hit the stop sign. When I hit the stop sign, I stop. I don't go any further. I don't continue finding my amino acid for CCU or GAU. I stop. Okay. Because what's going to happen in your body and in these cells and when the protein synthesis is happening, this stop means it breaks off. And these little amino acids that are held together with these peptide bonds, they go off and they know the message means, hey, give this organism brown hair. Give this organism a tail. Give this organism blue eyes. Okay. Your amino acids string together each to make a protein, and that protein codes for a specific trait in the organism. Okay. All right. So now get your worksheet, get something to work with, pen, pencil, whatever. Okay. And let's get busy. Remember, it is due today unless you don't finish it, and then it is homework. Okay. Any questions? Then let's get busy.